Happy New Year, and I want to salute you today. Happy New Year. May the Lord bless you. Today we are discussing about resolutions of the year. Sometimes you start the year, you celebrate, have a lot of fireworks and have a lot of things. Some of you have a drink or tours. Some of you go out. Some of you take children out so as for them to enjoy out there. Some of you do various things at the end of the year and in the beginning of the new year, but there's something that you definitely forget: to write down your resolutions and to see what you're going to do in the course of the year, such that if all the conditions are right and they're well, that you may succeed in the year. And sometimes you look at things and wonder whether really and truthfully things will go right. And therefore, we want to appreciate that as you be with us, that things will be okay and that you will be able to succeed. It is hoped that everything that you do is going to succeed. But I want to tell you that it is not everything that you intend to do or that which you've been doing that is going to succeed. Some of the things may not succeed. Some things will succeed only 50%. Others can even succeed 100%. And occasionally you can be lucky to have things succeeding not only 100%, but even 200%. Our hope is that after getting some of the things that you're going to enumerate here, they will help you so that you may succeed from 75%, even going upwards, so that you can enjoy the year and also live a better life and a longer life. Because if you do not have any resolutions for the year, then definitely things will go down. There are those people who plan their resolutions, and there are those people who wait for things to work for themselves. It is better for you to have resolutions so that if you can be able to have a yardstick and measure how far you'll have gone, what you'll have done, and whether that which you intended to do succeeded. It is better for you to plan little things and succeed other than to plan for very many things and all of them fail. It is better for you to pick one item and perfect it other than getting all the things go in one go and fail. It is better for you to have a foundation other than trying to do a foundation and other things and buying materials, they will all fail. It is always good for you to evaluate and see which stage is going to be prioritized and how it's going to be, so that you can see where you're going to start, who you're going to start with, and what is the end result expected. Because if you do things in amorphous, you cannot be able to evaluate what you're doing. You need to start saying that if I start here, where do I end? And if I end, where do I start? Because you can do step by step. I do the first step, I call it step A, and then you go do another step, you call it step B, do another stage, you call it stage C, and even D. You go on evaluating, and then as you do in every stage, you go on evaluating stage by stage, one by one, to see whether you have done it well. Sometimes we leave things in an amorphous way and work without a plan, or work by depending on nature, and we fail. You need to get a way whereby you can have like a plan A and plan B, so that if today things happen here, how do I manage to go to plan B? Because if plan A failed, then you can go to plan B, which most probably can give you a good percentage. If plan A, which was intended to go like maybe 70 to 80% failed, then you can go to plan B. Most probably it can give you maybe 50 to 70% or lower, or better. And therefore, when you plan your year, you're looking down and saying, I want to do something that is going to be appreciable at the end of the year. And then you look at also the failures that come from one time to another, and at the same time evaluate and see whether the failure that you underwent was a lesson for you to be able to grow, or it was a lesson that you will not learn anything from. There are some failures that are quite good, such that those failures give you a platform to do something better, or to evaluate or correct that which you wanted to do. More often than not, people think that the plan is either for the lazy people or for those who are not able to do things. Or I want to tell you today that if you are lazy, the best thing that you can do, it is to have a plan for your life so that you can have resolutions for your life. Because if you think you cannot be able to do certain things, the best thing for you to do is to write them down and write away how you're going to start with. This is called self-emolument. You do self-assessment, and after assessing yourself, then look at the way you're going to start, what you're going to start with, and then start. Do not procrastinate, because once you procrastinate, you will never start. You need to get to a level you can say, I want to start here. You can have some lazy feelings, and those lazy feelings can cause procrastination. So for you to be able to succeed, try not to have that lazy feeling. I've got people who feel lazy when they are writing an application, when they are applying for a job, or they're going for the interview. They do it lazily without giving everything that they are supposed to do or give. You got to give everything, pour everything you have down, and say whether it's going to give you a sense, or it's going to make sense to those who are interviewing you, or those who are talking to you, or the market that you are facing. It could be a market that you are facing, and you are doing the situational analysis. When you do situational analysis and market analysis, then you'll be able to see whether the project that you want to do will suit that market, or it is for that market. It may not be for that market, or you may not be able to tackle that market if you have not planned well. Maybe the finances you need may not be that much, and yet you have been fearing because you have not planned. Because once you plan, then you can start it all over. Because now you know that this is what I need, this is what I need to do, and because I need this and this, you write it down. These are the comments I need, these are the facilities that I need, and because I need these facilities, then I need to acquire them. Some people have been fearing, and yet they would have been big business people simply because they feared. Some people are feared of starting a certain course, and because they have been fearing, they cannot get that course. They cannot be able to achieve those goals they wanted. Maybe there's a book that you wanted to write or to complete. You can now have resolutions. I'm also a victim of the same that I'm talking, that maybe you want to write a book like I've had my 3 books, and publication has been a problem. Get finances that now you can use to do that. You can go do any sort of job, any sort of work, get finances, and then have that book published, or write it first, then you can have it published later. Some people may not have enough money to be able to start that project, and therefore you need to work it out. You need to evaluate and see whether that project you're doing, whether it's equivalent to your grade, to your status, or it may be a project that is below the status, or even beyond the status. There comes a time when you have to do some sort of evaluation and say, what do I do? How do I do it? How can I do it? And this can help you to be able to move from one stage to another. Being the first days of the month, you can be able to do something for the next 11 months and it's very much possible for you to do something. Maybe you want to pursue that diploma or that certificate course, or maybe you want to perfect a certain course or a certain skill that you've been admiring, and yet you've not gotten that level. It's a time like now when now you can plan you and say, from this particular month I'm going to start, and this is the time when I'm going to have my examinations, and this will be able to help me to become better. Maybe you are not very good in IT, or maybe you are not very good in a certain skill, and you want to add it to your life to better your life. This is the time to plan it at the beginning of the year, before things become tough, before all your finances are tied to certain things, so that you can get that level whereby you can do well, or you can be able to achieve something. Achievement may also not be tangible. Achievement can be received in terms of intangibility, but adding value to oneself. You can do something which does not necessarily bring value or tangible values, which we call intangible values, but then you can be able to get personal satisfaction. That personal satisfaction will be able to drive you to another level because you plan that. And not every year that you may plan, there are some years you can extend the plan that you had by reevaluating what you have, so that you can get yourself even to a higher and a better level. And some of the plans that most probably you may want will require adjustments on the way, and say that here I did it well, here I never did it very well, here I got stagnated, and you'll move forward. And of course, if you are also this sort of a person that is discouraged, you have lived under discouragement until your mind has got blocked up. You've been blocked, so that you are discouraged to the core, and you cannot be able to do anything. Every time you want or you anticipate to do something, your friends, your peers, or people around you discourage you, or the situations around you discourage you, such that you cannot do anything. If you are such a person that I am talking to a time like now, you are so much discouraged, the enemy has been discouraging you from one time to another, this is the time when you can move out, encourage yourself, and move ahead. We have seen things happen, people encourage themselves and saying, I am going to do something, and they go out and do that which is appreciable, and it works. And so you discourage, you rise up this year, write down, jot down some of the points that you want to have, or the characteristics that you want to have during the year, put them down, and then start working one after the other. Maybe you have been discouraged that you cannot go out to look for a job, or to go to your job, or to do your job. Say that you're completely down. Write down the things that can motivate you, so that you can move out. And unless you write them down, you cannot. Maybe you are this sort of a person who has been addicted to certain things. Some people are addicted either to food, eating, such that they overeat or they eat so much. Some people have been addicted to drugs, and so they got to have a drug before they can do something. And for you to get yourself to a level where you can say, I do not want to have these drugs anymore, you have to write down the resolutions that will help you move out of those drugs. Maybe you have been like a smoker, and you say that today, I want to resolute never to smoke again. You just go out, because it's not easy for somebody to just stop smoking once. You go on smoking like maybe one stick or per day, or maybe one stick after maybe a day or two, or have a stick, and then you go down, you minimize it to maybe a half a stick per day, and then you go minimizing until you have a quarter stick per day, until you move out and say, I'm not going to have it again. Or maybe you're a drug dependent, and until you take that drug, you will not be able to function well. And obviously this drug must have been quite expensive. For you to leave that drug, you need to get to a level where you can say, I don't want to take this drug again, and I move myself out. Most probably I can move out either go to the church or mosque or something, relax, and move out and join better people who are not doing that. Maybe you're this sort of a person who has been taking a drink that you have to go to the pub, listen to the music in the pub, and then have a drink there. There are many people who would have been rich in wealth, but because of entering into pubs and doing that association, they have denied themselves an opportunity in future of doing something that will help them in future. Because once you are in the pub and you find your friends, peers buying for you, you also buy for them because you feel embarrassed if you're going to buy for them and they don't, you don't buy for them too, then you feel embarrassed, and definitely this will easily make you to go bankrupt. So maybe you're discouraged in such a level that you got to go to the pub to take one or two, or to watch certain things that happens in the pub. Or maybe you are addicted to pub lights and you get there to get that. Or you are addicted to a dance that you see in the pub, most probably with the barmaids, most probably with the men that come in the pub looking good and looking elegant. Maybe you admire some of the vehicles that are parked outside the pub and you want to go in and hook up with one, and none of them has ever given you a chance to hook up with them because they're already most probably hooked up already. And that discouragement has come to your life and it's been quite difficult for you to move. There is need for you now to write out your resolutions and say, this is the way I am going to stop it, because you cannot just write resolutions without an evaluation. You got to do a personal evaluation and see whether the analysis that you've done to your own life is suitable and workable. Because every time you do a resolution, it's got to be a resolution that can be workable. Some of the resolutions that you do will never work because already they will be under, or they will not, it will be outside. Don't get somebody to write resolutions for you. You do your own resolution because this is your own life and this is your future. And therefore, when you do your resolutions, you are able to engage your mind in the resolution making. And if you involve your mind and then physically push your body to do the things that you want to do, then you are likely to succeed in doing that which you wanted to do. Indeed, you can be this sort of a person who is downtrodden. You are completely down and your mind is completely blocked and you cannot be able to do anything. It is completely clogged up and you cannot be able to do much. And therefore, the best thing that you can do is to also to sit down, evaluate your status from your background, what you have, what you are, what you can do, how you are entering in that new spheres of life. Write those things down. And after you've written them down, then start applying them in your life from the stages that you've written down, and this will help you to move from one level to another. Maybe you are this person that has lived with friends or relatives that are always pushing down. They push you and pull you down, that whatsoever that you want to do, you find people pulling you down. Every time they pull you down, they do not give you a chance. They are telling you how much you cannot do and the limitation in your life. I want to tell you today that there is no limit to any man to whatsoever they want to do. And every dream in this matter is very much valid. And its validity depends on your actions and what you can do. Once you get to that level where you say, yes, I am here and this is what I am, or this is whom I am, then I can most assuredly tell you that you can manage. It is not by what you do or what people do to you, but it's what you think in your own system and want to apply it. And that application will come in such a way that you will have decided and mentally and then put it in practice physically. Remember, most of the things that we do and who we are depends on how we think, how you think about life, how you think about how people perceive and think about you. They will think about what they can do or what they cannot do. When you look at it, you can be able to say that it's God who has helped you to do such and such things. And therefore, if you want now to succeed this year, you got another 11 months to do things, and God can help you. And you may not have all the 11, you can even have 10 months or so. Plan with them and you can start. And you can start at any stage. It doesn't matter where you start, so long as, first of all, you do the analysis of your life and what you want to do, evaluate yourself, check the available resources that can be able to be committed in that particular way, and it's going to be okay. But if you want to fail, just sit down and don't do anything. Or say, I cannot manage because of such and such. You know, some of the people are jobless. And with their joblessness, they do not want to do anything because they think they were cursed. I should tell you today that indeed there are those people, yes, who are cursed. But it's very easy for you to break the curse. The curse can be quite spiritual, because when people curse you, they can come to you and happen to turn your life upside down. But there is a way you can be able to undergo and such a thing and remove the curse into your life. Whether the curse came by nature or through, maybe you can attribute it to God, but God doesn't curse people, he blesses people. Or it came from your parents or from your uncles or your aunties, or it can come from a religious person as well. It is very much possible that they can speak words that can be magnetic, that can adhere to you, and they can affect your physical life. They come spiritually, but they affect one in a physical manner. If you say today, I am making or I'm doing an analysis of my life and see whom I am, what I'm doing, where I'm going, then you can be able to write them down and break that curse. Some of it can be broken by prayer, by the right person, and not everybody can break a curse. You only go to the people who you have known that they can break a curse. And we have broken many curses. And even today, my prayer for you is that if there is a curse in your life, I break it by faith in Jesus' name. And I want to tell you that as we break it in Jesus' name, you got to move up and say, I can do it. There are people who have crippled themselves by the things they take, by the things they touch, and their actions. And they have totally crippled themselves. Their minds cannot work. They have started or they engaged in taking things that are not worthy. For instance, if they take bang or take sativa cannabis or any other drug of that nature, let me tell you what will happen to them is that they will degrade their mind and they will have crippled themselves. There are people who started drinking, and drinking, they say, yeah, some people think it's good. But I can tell you that drinking may be good, but drinking is very bad. In that, it can drain you, completely drain your finances, drain the way you think. Some people report home very late. Some people get into accidents due to drinking, over drinking. Because even if you have to drink, you don't have to drink so much. They overdrink. Once they overdrink, if they are driving, they overdrive. And overdriving can cause death or maim somebody. And that's why we say that when you make resolutions, see whether you've been drinking and all your money has gotten to some sort of drinking, being carried maybe over the night by a boda or motorbike, or maybe taking a taxi. I mean, that drinking is like wasting your money, because as much as you drink, you will never get satisfied. As much as you take those drugs, they have no limit as to where you're going to stop. That's why we say that writing resolutions down after your personal emolument, after personal analysis, you can be able to see what the problem is. Some people are jobless and they have come down completely so that they cannot even write a letter of application or an application letter. They cannot be able to ask for a job. They cannot be able to keep the job that they have. They have gone down completely and their minds have been clogged. Once the mind is clogged, remember, you can never do anything. That is why we tell people that write your vision and the resolutions of the year, then write what is applicable. Do not write that which is not applicable. You have to write the things that are completely realistic. They ought to be realistic. They ought to be real. And times, they got to be time-based. Once they are time-based, you can be able now to evaluate your time and say, am I doing well or not doing well? Some people are tired. When somebody is tired, what they need is sincerity. It's time to rest. Most probably, you're tired of some issues, tired of some things, tired of being there, tired of doing a certain thing and it doesn't work. Let me tell you, the way to get at it, to rise up from your place, not to pull yourself down again. No, you move out and say, I am going to move out. I'm going to do some exercise. I am going to go out and try it. I am going to join other people. I will join other people in the community. I will join my family members. I will join my people. I will join the team members in that particular organization, that company. You'll be tired. Maybe you are always left behind. You can always see. Maybe you are this sort of a person that finds yourself in trouble all the time and you don't know who can help you to move out of that predicament. Write down the things that happen to you, then sort them out and see whether you've got the answers to some of the things and the problems that do happen to you. And therefore, you will realize that most probably some of the things you've been doing, they have been time wasting, they have been not doing anything, and you find that you have no choice as to what to do. And therefore, when you now make your resolutions, they have to come to, they have to be mental. They have to come from inside. And then you can be able to say, this is what I want to do, and this is where I have to go. And you can make resolutions that focus to the long term, or you can make short resolutions that will focus you to medium term, and from medium term, then you go to the long term. If you can do that, you can be able to help yourself and to come up with things and principles that can help you. Maybe you're a student and you find that you're failing all the time simply because you do not concentrate. Find out what makes you not to concentrate so that you can be able to improve on the areas where things have not been right. Maybe when you begin the year, you begin it badly. You begin a class, you begin badly. Maybe you come to class late, or maybe you don't listen to that lecturer or that particular teacher, or maybe you come late, or maybe you skip that subject. Find out what it is making you, gather courage, do an analysis, say what is negative and what has been hindering you. Those hindrances, they are the ones that you write down and they start fighting them one after the other. Maybe you are introduced to a certain vice and you are not able to stop from that vice. The best thing for you to do, go write it down and say, this is what I want, this is what I was, this is what I'll become. And most probably, as the word of God does say, for the wages of sin is death. Write them down and see how you can evade some of those things. And as you do that, you'll be able to rise up, evaluate them, and have the time frame so that you can continue evaluating them from one stage to another. If you evaluate and find that you're not going anywhere, you can change the tax. If the tax are not good, you can change another tax. If most probably the implements, the comment you're using are not right, you can try to do something that is slightly different the way you're doing things, because you want to change. Because the goal here is to change and to do better and to succeed in those areas where you have not succeeded or you want to improve. You can be able to get yourself and say, every single time I want to improve. And how do I improve? How to improve the health of my body? How to improve the health of environment? How to improve the departmental performance? How do I improve my skills in what I want to do? If I want to engage in agriculture, how do I improve and what do I add into my agricultural input so that I can have better results, I can better yield? If it is a sort of an organization, what do I put in so that I can be better than this was? How do I raise myself to a level whereby I can be better than people can see me? I mean, I want to get somewhere where I can be able to make an improvement. And remember, improvement can never come from nothing. Improvement can never come from nothing. Improvement can only come if you are starting from a certain area and you are going to another area. It has to come from a point. In this respect, there has to be a reference from where one is starting. If you are starting from a certain level, it is good to know that where you started, it becomes now the baseline of where you are going to begin. Where you're going to begin so that you can go higher. You can improve from there one after the other. Be sure that it doesn't go down. Unless it refuses, change the tax. When you change the tax, you're likely to start doing well. At times, you can say, I want to do things differently. I want to do things differently. Maybe the way I've been doing these things, I'm going to do them differently. Maybe the way I do this presentation, my New Year resolutions, most probably the way I am doing them today, I should not have done them this way. Maybe I should have done it in a different way. I should have done it maybe earlier. Or I should have done it on the very first day of the year. Or I would have waited and do them later. But I've just told you that procrastination is in itself a hindrance to the development and improvement of our personal issues. And therefore, I'm going to do things differently in this year. I will try to do them better. I will try to seek more knowledge. I will involve most probably professionals. I will want to go most probably to school to get more knowledge. I'll get those people who know that act to help me so that I can be able to perfect that art. I mean, if I have not been plowing properly, I should do it right. Most probably I've been using the wrong seeds in my lawn vineyard. I should use the correct seeds so I can be able to get it nice. Maybe the way I've been treating my family is different. And so I should start treating my family better than I have done there before. Most probably, I have digressed from the truth of the Word of God. I need to get in. Maybe I have moved out from the religious groups and the religious people simply because I feel that I don't fit there. The reason why you don't fit there is because you do not want to have resolutions to stay there. And therefore, I want to do things differently. Most probably, I have been acting differently. I have been doing it differently. I have been working differently. So I should say that a time has come when I have got to change and do my things in a different way. Apply new standards. Engage myself with existing analysis and get myself higher. Push myself higher. There comes a time when you say, as much as I do things differently, there is something also I can do better. I need to be more careful the way I do things. I need to be more careful the way I act. I need to be different the way I do things. I need to do them totally differently. As I do them differently, it's going to be well. If I do them differently because I want to be more careful. And I also I should be grateful to what I'm doing and encourage myself. I want to tell you, in this particular presentation, that not many people may come to your way to encourage you, but you're lucky to have many people who come to your life and discourage you to the core. Those guys, those people, try to run away from them. Say, I have to improve myself, the way I get up, the way I dress, the way I perform, the way I do things, the way I handle people. You know, there are some people who do not know how to handle others. There are some people who are so shy and that they cannot be able to handle particular things. They are so shy in particular areas where they were supposed to, which was supposed to help them to be better, and they are not shy on the things that are useless. Some people become so courageous when they take either a drug or they take a drink. I got to tell you, if you are depending on the courage that comes by taking a drug or by taking a drink in a pub or by taking a gin somewhere, let me tell you, you will never do anything nice, because every time you go to people, they will find you drunk or smelling some sort of alcohol or some sort of chemical. Or the way you will behave, you will be a very abnormal side that they will know that this guy is under drug influence. And if you are this guy who is always under drug influence, I can surely tell you that people will be treating you the way you are. If you are a drug taker, they know that when you have taken drugs, that is when either you are ferocious or you are calm. They will know that's to treat you, and you will never improve. And therefore, your improvement has to do with how you treat yourself and how you evaluate yourself in the time when you are normal versus the times when you are abnormal. If you are this person who is very enthusiastic after you have taken a drink or taken a drug, you can never do anything nicely. Write a program down. Evaluate yourself. See what you cannot do. See how you're going to run out so that you can give yourself a chance to improve. And therefore, make a plan. That plan ought to be almost like constant. The plan that you make should be a plan that is workable, a plan that can be done. Don't give yourself hurdles that are far much beyond your ability or your capability. Do not include your friends. It is good to have friends, but when it comes to your life, you can only have a plan to eliminate bad friends from your life. That is a good one. You can have a plan to eliminate them from your life, because some of the friends are so good when they're eating from you. Some people are so friendly when they are so close and eating from you or influencing you in certain matters geared for them to receive something. But I got to tell you today that you must cut some of those friends. You have to think straight, and when you think straight, things are going to be okay. Suppose you're working on your body, particularly those people who have gone towards obesity. You get to a level whereby you can say, I am not going to walk towards obesity. I want to reduce. I want to be slim. Or maybe you're so thin and you feel you're unfit. You can eat a little bit more, work it out in whichever way, whether increasing or reducing, or you want to remain constant where you are. You have to decide what to do, or get somebody to help you. You got to continue to embark on prayer. If you are a prayerless person, embark on prayer. Get to prayer, get the counsel, how people help you, writing your plan down and your resolution for the year, and then go on promoting them from one level to another, because you have to promote them. In this way, you are likely to succeed. My will and my wish is to see you succeed, and when you succeed, of course, you are not going to share the glory. I would like you to succeed so that you can promote our country, you can promote your family, you can promote yourself, you can get up something that you call yourself or call yours. You can promote yourself. You know, when you do well, it's better. You can improve that music. You can sing that music. You can record that music. I mean, you can rise up from there. Maybe you're a preacher that doesn't like preaching in certain languages. Start practicing now. Maybe you're a teacher, or maybe you're an engineer, or is an engineer who doesn't do any engineering work. You don't even want to do any engineering work. Maybe you're a lawyer who has never stepped in a court of law. You are only a lawyer by name. Maybe you are this sort of a person, a scientist by name. Maybe you call yourself a researcher, but you never engage yourself in a research. You call yourself an expert, but there is no expertise in you that can be emulated or be practiced. Go write down the things that you cannot be able to do, compare and evaluate them, analyze them, see what is possible, tick, and then write the new resolution down from the sketch of what you have written down. Cancel this, cancel that, take this, start and write them down. Give them the time frame so that you can start evaluating yourself from one level to another, so that by the time you get the month of your end results, you can be able to see how many eggs you have received, or how many chicks you have hatched, and how many calves you have gotten, how many lambs you have received. You can say how many kilos you've lost, or how many you gained. You can say the number of the kilograms of the product you have, or the quantities that you have, and this will help you to improve yourself. Or how far that house went, how much you have saved, how much you're going to use, and what you are intending to do, how much you're going to pay to those loans, and things will work out for you. Thank you very much for listening to me. I wish you all the best. I wish you a happy new year with the blessings of the Lord, and that you may live to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Remember, a man will help you, but will help you very little. But if you write your plan down so that you can be able to help yourself, you can be a bigger help. A man can give you advice, but they cannot be able to give you the skills to accomplish that sort of plan. So you got to get yourself out and say, what can I do? Am I going to do it? And it shall be okay. Thank you so much. In case you have any question concerning this particular plan or resolution for the year, my resolution for the year, if you have any questions, or you have got any issue that you wanted to know more about this, or you are of a certain caliber and you have never gotten anybody to help you to be able to rise up, we are here. My name is Dr. Migosi. I am an expert in leadership development. Definitely, I will help you to be able to rise up to where you can be, and this is going to be most probably free of charge. Some of you out there, if you feel this particular my resolutions for the year points are going to help you, you can also do me a favor. You can support the program so you can have many programs coming in this channel, in this TV, and so that you can get more out of it. If you need more information, please, the numbers maybe on your screen, or you can do WhatsApp or even an SMS, and we can talk to you. We can work together so that we can help you outdo things. May the Lord God bless you. And I want to say again, Happy New Year. Have good things done. And at the end of the year, may you also learn to share the success to us, and we shall be glad to say that God has helped you to do your things and to succeed in all your endeavors.